An entryway that sits empty or is arranged without balance can let the flow of energy enter and then scatter away far too quickly. But if you place two things here that help hold on to that flow, the entrance becomes more balanced and gathers good energy for the whole home. The reason this area matters so much is that the front door is traditionally called the mouth of energy, meaning the place that receives the flow of energy coming in from the outside. The front door is also counted among the three most important positions in a home, along with the bedroom and the kitchen. Among these three, it plays the opening role, because the flow of energy has to pass through here first before it spreads into the areas inside. The stretch of space connecting the front door to the living room is called the foyer, or what some people call the entrance hall. Every current of energy from the outside has to move through this area before it spreads into the rooms inside, so this place is seen as the space that protects the vital energy of the whole home. For that reason, you should not casually place objects near the front door. Instead, choose items with a size and shape that suit the space, things that do not block the walkway and do not cut across the flow of energy. So which two objects are suitable to place at the entrance, and how should you arrange them so they keep the good meaning they are meant to carry? Let us look into this together. I will also share the items that should not appear here, because they can make the entrance messy and unclean and can block the energy trying to come into the home. So let us begin. Number 1. The doormat. A doormat at the entrance catches dust and moisture from the outside, and it also acts as the first point of transition before the flow of energy moves deeper into the home. Sitting right at the threshold, it creates a point of pause before that energy continues into the other areas. Because of this, the incoming energy does not scatter too fast, and the entrance keeps the balance it needs. The doormat also helps draw a clear boundary between the outside and the inside of your home. Dust, moisture, and murky energy that follow your footsteps in get held back at the door and cannot travel deep into the living space. So, a clean doormat in the right position is often seen as something that protects the welcoming area, helping the energy that enters your home stay more steady. When you choose a doormat, pick one with a size that is well balanced with the front door. It should not be so small that the entrance feels scattered, and not so large that it takes over the whole walkway. Lay it down flat, with no curled corners, no tears, no damp mildew, and not too much dust clinging to it. If the doormat has grown old, faded, or worn out, replace it with a new one. Because the front door receives vital energy, a doormat that is clean, whole, and neatly placed fits far better with the meaning of welcoming in good fortune and holding on to good energy for the home. As for the position, place the mat right against the front door or within the foyer. This is where energy pauses before it spreads into the areas inside, so place the doormat close to the front door to act as the first point that receives energy, rather than setting it too far back in the living room. The color of the mat should also feel in harmony with the door and the space around it. You can choose deep red, brown, earthy yellow, dark green, or gray, as long as it is not too bright and does not clash strongly with the entrance. When you keep it clean and arrange it well, the doormat gives your front door a clear point of transition. It supports the energy entering more steadily, and it holds back the kind of energy that does not belong, keeping it from following your footsteps deep into the home. Number 2. Green plants. Among the 5 elements, plants belong to the element of wood, which represents growth, development, and a life force that keeps going without pause. Because of this, a healthy green plant near the front door often carries the meaning of nurturing vital energy, helping your work find more room to expand and helping prosperity build up over time. Unlike the doormat, which creates a point of transition right at the threshold, a green plant adds wood energy to the entrance. The front door and the foyer usually have many hard surfaces, as you can see, such as walls, brick, glass, or metal. When a green plant appears here, it helps balance the 5 elements, softens the space so it feels less cold and rigid, and helps the flow of energy move more steadily rather than rushing through too fast. A healthy green plant also carries the meaning of growing and thriving. When a plant keeps putting out new leaves and its canopy grows fuller, that image stands for your work moving forward step by step and your family gaining a stronger foundation for the long term. For this reason, a plant at the entrance must be a living plant, actively growing and green and cared for by you regularly. You can choose plants such as the money tree, the ziz plant, the jade plant, lucky bamboo, pothos, the rubber plant, or the areca palm. The money tree has a sturdy trunk and a wide, spreading canopy, and is often seen as a symbol of stability and prosperity. The ziz plant has leaves that grow evenly and reach upward, standing for the steady growth of your family. The jade plant has round, thick leaves shaped a little like coins, so it is often tied to abundance and to building up savings. Lucky bamboo grows straight, divided into many segments, standing for each step forward in your work. Pothos has a strong, enduring life force and grows easily into a green canopy, which suits in trances with only moderate light. The rubber plant has large, round, glossy leaves, carrying a meaning of fullness and stability for your home. That said, do not choose a plant based on its lucky name alone. The plant you pick has to suit the light, the airflow, and the size of the front door area. If your entrance lacks light, go with pothos, lucky bamboo, or a parlor palm. If the area has light but is not hit by direct sun, then the money tree, the rubber plant, or the jade plant is a better fit. Give preference to plants with a tidy canopy and round or soft leaves. These shapes stand for steady growth, and they do not create sharp lines pointing straight at your door. Plants with too many sharp thorns, dry branches, or blade-like leaves should not go right at the entrance, because that shape tends to create a clash pointing directly at the place where vital energy is received. Pay attention to where you place the plant, too. Set the pot off to one side of the door or in a corner of the foyer where it gets enough light but does not get in the way of opening and closing the door. Do not let the pot sit in the middle of the walkway, do not let it block the front door, and do not make anyone walking in step around it. If the entrance is wide, you can place 2 plants of a similar size on either side to create balance. If the space is small, a single compact plant is the right choice. This keeps the flow from being blocked and keeps the welcoming role of the front door from being weakened. A plant at the entrance must always be kept healthy. Trim off wilted leaves, cut away dry branches, wipe the dust from the leaves, and check the soil regularly. As for any water left standing at the bottom of the pot, clear it out on your own so it does not sit and pool and give rise to foul energy right at the place where your home receives its energy. When a plant shows many yellow leaves, dry branches, or has died, the life force it is meant to represent is no longer being held, and it no longer suits the entrance. If you have cared for it and it still cannot recover, replace it with a new, healthy plant, rather than keeping a withered pot near the front door. When it is the right type, set in the right position, and kept healthy, a green plant adds wood energy to the entrance, softens the hard lines of the space, and stands for growth that keeps going. Because of this, the front door area gains more life, and good fortune, along with good opportunities, are carried toward your family. Along with these 2 objects that help balance the vital energy at the entrance, you should also check whether it is holding any items that weaken the good energy of the home. The first is shoes left scattered right in front of the door, something I see many families run into. After a day out, your shoes usually carry dust, dirt, moisture, and murky energy, which here means the cloudy, dirty currents that follow you home from the road. If your shoes are lying in a jumble at the front door, that murky energy builds up at the very spot where you and your family come and go every day. In feng shui, that situation is said to leave daily life without much steadiness. Health can be affected, family members can end up in conflict over small things, belongings often go missing, and everyday work keeps running into problems no one planned for. Clean your shoes and tuck them neatly into a cabinet with doors that close, rather than leaving them scattered in front of the door. The second is the trash bin. Placing a trash bin next to the front door directly affects the meaning of welcoming in prosperous energy. Garbage, leftover food, and dirty water are all sources of foul energy, meaning the polluted currents that form from odor, dampness, dust, and things that are breaking down, while the front door receives the energy that nourishes the entire home. When the bin sits right beside the door, that foul energy can overpower the good energy that has just come in. This is often seen as a sign that money in your home has trouble building up, that income comes in but is often followed by unexpected expenses. So move the bin to a more hidden spot, use one with a lid, and take the trash out regularly. The third is old items. Cardboard boxes and things that have not been put away should not be piled up at the entrance either. These items take up the open space at the doorway and turn into obstacles along the path the energy travels into your home. When the entrance is blocked, new opportunities in your work also have a harder time reaching you smoothly. Your work can fall behind schedule, plans become hard to carry out, or a chance appears but you cannot seize it in time. So sort your belongings, get rid of what you no longer use, and keep the walkway roomy and clear. As for items that are already broken, such as a fan that will not run, a bent bicycle, a torn umbrella, a burnt-out lamp, or old electrical equipment, do not leave them in the corner by the door either. An item that has lost the function it was meant to have stands for interruption, decline, and things grinding to a halt. If those images appear at the entrance, they are believed to leave the energy of the home without much movement, stretching out the plans in your life and leaving your work without progress. So the things that can still be used, repair them soon, and the things that can no longer be fixed, let them go, rather than keeping them near the front door. That way, the front door area can take in positive energy for your work, your finances, and your family life. So there you have it. I have shared 2 objects to place in the entrance that help hold on to the flow of energy, and I have also pointed out the items you should avoid placing here, so this area does not become messy, unclean, or a block to the energy coming into the home. Even so, the most important thing is still keeping the front door clean, open, and tidy every single day. When you look after this area with care, the flow of energy has better conditions to move smoothly, and that in turn helps keep steadiness in your family's life, work, and finances. Thank you for taking the time to follow along to the end of the video. If you still have a question that is not clear, or you would like me to share more about another feng shui topic, please leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I wish you and your family lasting health, peace, and much success in life. I will see you again in the next video.